Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Europa Universalis for Daily Mughals series here on the Lore Master channel, in which, well, we got another exciting war coming up, in which we'll be up against Dali, as you can see over there, but this is just to complete one last mission for over there, at least. And then once that's all said and done, well then what's next for the Mughals? I mean, 1800s is getting a bit closer and closer. And, then what the hell are we gonna do from here, one would think? Well, there is one thing I forgot. This. Abu Said's dream. And there's only one nation that stands in the way from completing it. Well, actually two. Mazandaran and Karakoyunlu, formerly an ally to Mazandaran. I think this is going to be one of the last few wars, and not to mention the last few episodes of the Mughal series left. I know the timeline of the game, it ends in 1821, but I'm starting to become a little bit fatigued with doing this series and all that, along with Croatia, which is much more fatiguing because of a lot of things that happened over there. Yeah. You know, it's being a colonial power, gonna watch over everything, but at least around here, it's all localized. Now, so what would probably, I mean, it's like, yeah, fleece Dali, and then we'll fight against them, and of course by that time we'll be reaching, you know, the borders of the Ottomans, and I'm kind of predicting, although I can't guarantee everything in this series, what if our last great war for the entire series will be the Mughals-Ottomans war? I can see that, because you've got this one that's got a very large army, only for us larger, even though we have more in reserve, whereas they've used up all their manpower, as they're currently fighting against what's left of the Mamluks. So I would say the idea of, I mean, I slightly tinkered with the idea on a previous episode about a Mughal America. But the problem is the supply ships of getting from here to there. It took the diplomat 100 days to get from Fatehpur Sikri to this area of Chitamacha, which is in modern day New Orleans, capital of the Kingdom of Florida. And highly doubt that overseas interventions would be a occurrence anymore. Just banging my head again. So yeah, the idea of a Mughal America is out of the question. Even if you were to attempt that, well then you'll be fighting against some of these colonial powers which we have no business of being there. Plus, even if you were to fight against the Ottomans in the future, you'd also be fighting against Florence, Crimea, Bashkiria, Medina, and Hormuz. If they get out of debt, of course. Although they would assist us for a second front. But let's think about the here and now first. As we're moving this army on our way up to Darang. Because when we fight against them, we're up against Dali, Yakan, what little is left of Ayutthaya, and Sang. And our ally, soon to be former ally, Yarkand, which is why we've committed, you know, this to fight on this front. First, we commit to 4 armies to fight against Dali. Yarkand has this much. I mean, yes, they're our ally, but we're soon to be no longer allied. Because to me, they're becoming what I would call a pest. We've helped them build them up. Now we're ready to break them down. Bukhara is no longer considered an enemy to me, because they do not hold the territories that I desire anymore. It's held by them now. who proclaim themselves to be a great power. We shall see. I mean, after all, they made Persia the highest trade value in the world. And I found out why. It's because of Caspian traditions. The riches of Tabaristan. Goods produced modifier adds more trade value. And the caravan power and all that. The trade ideas also helped as well. Economic. They're just like us in a way. We'll be ready for war soon. Just wait for them to get to position. Of course, no matter which war we fight against, Lan Na and Dai Viet will be there, including for our western expansion. So what we will be doing with this, the war will not, the series will not end here. It will continue. After we've pacified South China, we shall turn our attention to the west, beyond our home territory, our ancestral home of Afghanistan. Of course, we say that because that's our dynasty's culture. Unfortunately, Shah Jahan Lodi is craven, so that's going to hurt the morale of armies a bit. Wish we had another advisor which has discipline. In fact, we do have one. But not right now. Not right now. Okay, in position. So again, 4 Mughal armies and the Vietnamese and Lan Na will help us pacify this area first. And then after we're done with that, then we're gonna start moving towards Yarkand. And their capital is in Kashgar. They have not improved their fortifications. It's the area that they named themselves after. You know, move this way. Seems my geography's a bit off. Yeah, you're way off. Slight delay. In position. Alright. Everybody's counted for. They're in for a world of hurt. Hang on. Tell you what, once we're done with this expansion, these distinguished fighting armies will have to travel westward to be in position. Leave a few behind, like this one, to safeguard our newly conquered territories, to keep separatists down. And then we'll be heading over there to fight along westward. But remember, this first. These are the territories you must take. Control all the provinces in the Hyangui frontier area and the hinterland areas. These are your objectives. Conquer the rest if you must, but only to safeguard Mughal interests. Just to show that we are the dominant power of Asia and not anyone else. Not even you up there. They're still steppe nomads. After all this time. Alright, enough wasting time. Let's do it. Wait. Break the alliance first against Dali. Oh, you mean... Yeah, one moment, please. There you go, now you made it official. There you go, now you can get started. At least you gave them fair warning for this. Calling you three up here. Just to be on notice. Just in case. Shifting everybody over here. So you know who to call. Let's go. Wait, don't you know who else you're up against? That's what these three are here for. These two. Because they're not what they're used to be. I don't have much of a name. You know what? Might as well. Send in the transport fleets and drop them off. They'll handle it. Okay, we only want territory from Dali. Anything in Tibet or in the Tarim Basin, I want none of it. I don't desire these lands. Just only these. Take the capital. Move on. Keep going. At least you got the right idea. Portuguese Australia. Oh. Oh, this is probably a bad idea. Hold here. Wait for reinforcements. We'll bring him up. Try not to do anything stupid. They'll finally be arriving on December. Keep it up. Wait until reinforcements get here. And we'll go defeat them out there. There's me. Picked up that leadership trait. We've taken their objective. You got cannons, right? Lots of it. Good. Fort's not fallen yet. You are out. Help him with this siege. I'm the siege master around here. What you should do right now is begin carpet sieging. Okay, you ready to quit? Just willing to pillage anybody they see. Oh, gotta move on. Alright, fine. Moving up. This way. All we need is to get Yarkhan out of this war, and we'll finally get what we want. Because we believe in quicker resolutions. Are they foolish? That's Dali. Stand still. Fighting in the mountains. How suicidal. Come on, move out. This way. As much as I would like to beat the heck out of these guys, but their war enthusiasm is already low, so maybe we'll finally get what we want, so we don't have to beat ourselves up too much for this. Plus, I got all this administrative power that's definitely needed. So, remember the mission. These territories must go. Yeah. Anything else? That will not do. A fierce negotiator. A full annexation would be grand. But this isn't gonna please everybody. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to drag it out a little bit longer. Whether they like it or not. That's our admiral at best. One of our admirals. We're gonna have you surrounded. We'll get that war score up further the more we take these territories. Move back. Stop those separatists. They're gonna ruin our plans. You ready to quit now? You came from Chu. Acceptance is all the road to progress. Petty divisions of our nation have long retarded our development. Since opening up administration of all town citizens, we have noticed great achievements in the development of local economies. Tolerance may make us rich. There. Took that area back. Now, are we gonna go with the full annexation? Still no, you say. The war is still young, but we'll be knocking down some of the fortifications soon. Stop, stop. Keep getting more loyalty. We're getting a lot of events lately. Encroachment of Mansabdars in Shekhawat. It's hard to monitor everyone everywhere all the time, and the boundaries between individual land properties are often grounded in poor traditions or documents written on a landscape may look quite different. If someone with the right resources can be exploited. A number of prominent Mansabdars families have used their considerable influence in Fatehpur Sikri to get away with expanding their properties in Shekhawati considerably. If we want to protect the property of the state, we must act soon. Well, let it slide. They can get a piece of land, whereas I'm about to grab more land for myself. Oh boy, are we really about to engage him? Don't you know who's out there? Yep, see what you realize what you have done? They force march. Oh, gods dang it. No, keep going your way. There's nothing blocking us. You just find this path more convenient? Last. Rajput, force march. Cost us nothing. It may be too late to save him now. Force march. Put your running boots on. You may have treated reinforcements, but what took you? Get back over here. That got him. Okay, begin your withdrawal. You three get back to South India. Back to your original positions. As far as we can remember, of where there used to be. Stay close to here. Again, that's a lot of turf to cover. Now, what do you say? Still no. Started 2 years ago. Okay, hang on. Maybe 1 more month will do. Now, what do you say? Yes? Okay, thank you. Again, want no territories from you. No pillage, just annex the entire country. And that'll be the last thing. Got it? I only did it simply for the sake of it. Shut up. Mission complete. Mughal China. So that ups your trade efficiency and goods produced modifier for all over. Hindustan Zindabad. Jai Hind. Now it's court. The Shan people have been assimilated, so are the Bai and the Yi. We're keeping one back here in case of separatists from any part of China, but it seems it's highly unlikely at this point. So you might as well go and take care for future military operations out west. Unless we get called into overseas interventions. What's the governing capacity? Still a lot. But then again, you're taking territories that aren't too well developed. At least to my standards these days. Take that off. It's unnecessary now. Just let it march naturally. As I said before, you're next. Only allied is Muscovy, which I ain't afraid of him. The army's not as big. No, thank you. No other Padishah Begum is as brave as our Bahar Banu. Military tactics and organization have always been a great interest to her. In addition to her daily sword practice, she spends many hours each day studying the art of war. Over the last few months, she has become better acquainted with one of our most respected commandants. He in turn has taken our Padishah Begum under his wing, teaching Bahar Banu everything she wishes to know. Now the Padishah Begum Bahar Banu has asked us to make a commandant an offer, claiming that he would make a much better vice than the quartermaster that we currently employ. Yes, we're quite far away from it, but I'll say, no, we'll ask the quartermaster to work harder. Please remember, work hard and work smart. That is the key to anything in life. Hmm. So we should get it by then. Hey, what are you still doing up here? Hold on, let me read this. I don't think I've seen this event before. Magad Exkander Mahat. That is my advisor who is a theologian. Spending habits have raised some eyebrows. He's been spending large amounts of money, far larger than one in his position should have access to, distributing gifts to the local ulama in his home region and improving the local infrastructure. An investigation has revealed the facts. Rather than serving the Paddy Shah to the best of his abilities, Magad Exkander Mahat has been funneling state funds to Guruk in order to boost his popularity there. While this has been a boon to the local economy, such practices could prove damaging to the state as a whole if tolerated. Hey. I'll turn in a blind eye. Oh, crud. Well, let me steal a map from you. Please forgive me. Yes, we did correct it to you twice, but I need something out of you. Anything Cascadia? We know California, but we don't have a unit adjacent to there unless you're right next to... Well, in that case... Because I really want to know what it looks like on this part out west. Or better yet, it's Cascadia as a whole, yes. Come on, hurry up. Get up there. And yes, there's corruption. I will get rid of that immediately. Revolutionary? Revolutionary Republic. It's a revolutionary state. Fraternal ideals. Constituent Assembly, improving relation, Union of States, the two-chamber system, power of the absolute power of the president, imperial principle, equal electorate, and appointment by committee. You know we freed that little country, right? Now they're going revolutionary. There. Now we know. Now I want you to return to port, which the nearest one is over here. You'll be back. We should actually drill before we start any more wars to go out west. The innovativeness is at the max. Take that off. Apologies to Great Britain. can't core them all yet. Just raise a few. So now you know what most of the American West looks like. The naval tradition. The only thing that could create a truly create a good commander at sea is the experience of being out at sea. Competent people can be promoted, and this is what creates a strong navy. However, some factions of the country truly dislike the... what? A cabin boy can become captain. There goes my stability for a while. Not expected to fight any more wars down there. There's room for 2 admirals now. Similar skilled, doesn't matter who. They're both 2-star admirals. Sailors are at the max. We'll be heading to there because of who we may be up against in future. Even though it's going to be a mainly land war, but still, we would have to, you know, go up against that way. But we're not going to start any wars this soon. The armies of the best of the abilities should begin drilling. Your reservists, switch places. Basically, our top commanders should be placed over there and they'll be drilling. This army group. Who's the general? Bahadur Shah Chugatai. You. Drill this. Actually, go to Kandahar, then drill. Want everybody drilled so we can have the best of everybody. In other words, I'm willing to pass the time to oh, what the heck? Oh, it must be the women in history thing that relates to apparently China. Qingxi. The sly and shrewd pirate queen, Qingxi. Although I'm not familiar with pronunciation Chinese names. The terror of South China, as she was called, managed to negotiate that she keep all her loot ill-begotten from piracy. The Mughals have found it impossible to beat her, with 63 ships lost in the latest attacks. So amnesty was offered to all pirates. Qingxi took advantage of this, ending her career as a wealthy woman. She retired with her husband, Chang Pao. There are those who say her fleet consisted over 300 junks, or yunks, manned by 20,000 to 40,000 pirates, while others claim that she had 1,800 ships with a crew of 80,000 men, women, and even children. Jiangxi used to be a prostitute until she was captured by pirates and married Jingya, one of the notorious pirates before she took control of his fleet after his death. The Red Flag Fleet was a coalition, was a coalition of several competing Cantonese pirate fleets gathered by the Jingat, using military assertion and his reputation. He died in Vietnam, and Changxi maneuvered her way into his leadership position by cultivating personal relationships. She managed to make herself essential to the captains and united the fleet by issuing code of laws. The first law was that anyone given their own orders or disobeying those of a superior were beheaded immediately. The second law forbid theft from the public fund or any villagers that supplied the pirates. The third law was that the goods taken as booty, had to be presented and registered by a person, then distributed by the fleet leader. 20% was given to the original Caesar, and the rest was placed in the public fund. The fourth law was that all the actual money was to be turned over to the squadron leader and used to purchase supplies for unsuccessful ships. The fleet robbed towns, markets, and villages from Macau to Canton, even establishing hegemony over the many coastal villages, in some cases imposing levies and taxes on settlements. Let me take a drink to that. I've never heard of this person before, and I doubt many of you people have ever heard of this. I never played in that area before, and I'm unfamiliar with a great portion of Chinese history. Except for the Silk Road and a few other things that would take a long time for me to discuss with you, unless I was playing as the Ming Empire or one of the independent Chinese kingdoms and all that. Could I have that, or make her the admiral? Force her out of retirement and give her charge over the fleet. Four fire, 3 shock, 3 maneuver, no siege. And yet compare that with the other admirals. A little more firepower is appreciative. But a female admiral. Get this out of here. Upgrade those old ships, if any. Let her take charge. Fleet's very small. Move along. Move along. Drill. I'm giving you at least 3 years before we will start the next war. It's for the autonomy over out east to be lowered. Stop here in bulk. Even though we're mostly pointing at that direction, but keep in mind the objectives are... Okay. Should be enough. Yes, sir. Here we go. Drill. No chance of any kind of separatism. Unless you increase the stability. So we basically send out the most experienced units out there. But there is room for 2 more generals that can come with us. So many leaders. Hey, you're one of the good ones. Oh, no, don't worry about it. They can come with us too. Unfortunately. But they are distinguished fighting units. So they do have to come up. Station there, and you too. It's almost like we're only bringing in old veterans. You can walk your asses there. Ain't telling you to force march. Here's your loyalties. What do you need? A manufactory in Ladakh? You got it. Might as well. What the heck is Spain up to? Still trying to spread the revolution in Bali. While the Ottomans continue their expansion. They even got... Looks like there's Medina, but it'll soon reach Mecca. Here we go again. Excuse me. To many in the army, especially those that ended up dying due to various things outside battles, the quartermaster seems to do nothing. However, those that understand the complexity of logistics, he is a true genius. Well, he is. Stability up for free. Just like you'd like it. Still on the march, taking your sweet time. So I no longer desire to expand further east. Which one would they go further into China, even all the way to Beijing for to control the Forbidden City, even though that does nothing to us. It's useless because I'm not of the owner's religion, because me being Sunni, them being Confucian. Now we'll turn our attention westward now. Had something else in my mind, but I kind of lost it. Nope, still too far away. Unless you want to wait another 3 years before you start the next one, because I'd like to get this final version of the infantry, so it'll be up to those standards. Bukharan separatists. Let's see. Ramadan. I don't think it really matters what choice you pick, because we're at the max. My goodness. Guess they took care of those separatists. Anybody else's ships that needs to be upgraded? Because I just need to spend money on something. Unless there's some trade goods over there, since we took control of areas that are mostly tea with some copper, some iron. Hey, you got manufactories, do you? No. Well then, get to work on those. these are the territories you should be developing. Oh, you already got one. Good. Nearest areas of coal are up there. Also there too. And I'm sure one day we'll expand to there as well. All the coal you could try to find in this world. I think that makes Great Britain the largest producer of coal in the world. Now that we thought about it. But a lot of tea. Yes, lots of tea. %, 26%, 31. 19% of it. Unlikely. Alright, you're here. Now begin drilling. And same to you. So, okay, how's this? How about that, we won't start our war. We won't start our next war until 3 years' time. It's not only to give everybody time to fully drill those armies at the max so they'll be ready to fight against them. Formidable enemy they are. And what else? And plus that's what it says. It's not going to be till 1780 is when we will level this up. 1799 for this one, so I'd rather wait. Just basically relax. Do nothing. He was a good one. Yeah, why not? Let's do this again. With this whole, thing with building spy networks in areas. You could hear me smiling like a Cheshire cat on that remark. So apparently this place has been neglected. Hey! Oh, it's already got a manufacturing. Okay, think. What else? This already has it. Upgrade that. This does not have a manufacturing. Like to see more local goods produced. Actually, that's Diviet's control over, so we're building it for him. Never mind. But there's an awful lot of tea, so we might as well start building plantations that relates to tea. Those that have not been constructed will be constructed. This already has one. This does not. Law now owns this territory. Wonder what happens if we just, say it's like, hey, we're the largest producer of tea in this part of the world. What kind of bonuses would I get? Yeah, apparently you find most of the world's tea from there. You find very little in America, South America. Up in Tashkent, so that's Fergana Valley region. No, that's Fergana. Should look into that. Chinaware. Of the areas that you owned, does it have manufacturers regarding Chinaware? If it doesn't, build them. Impressment offices. It's already been built here. Keep going. Aha. Obviously, you do not find Chinaware in Europe or Africa. You'll find it here. If they do have them in Japan. Even in Tsushima. Heck, what else? Because we'd like to be known to the world, it's like, hey, we produce the largest of this and the largest of that. You know, basically to keep up, as long as you retain those bonuses. So I would like to know, is there a bonus for having the most tea of the world? You cannot find tea in America. North America, I should say. I already got it. Dali Viet has them. Oh boy, you are making me feel tempted. Part of the reason I say that is, if I want to expand more in China, well then, get the lands where the tea and the silk come from. Even though we're only content with Western expansion. Yemeni demand and Mughal supply. It seems Chins and Mansoura have become increasingly sought after in the Yemeni capital, Aden. There was always a high demand for our goods, but this exceptional pull has resulted in a great... Thank you very much. So a great surge of wealth in the province. A number of hostile publications began to circulate in the cities of the empire. Anonymous, yet very critical, authors claim that our government is autocratic and demand both a written constitution and parliament where the various parts of a country can be represented. Make vague promises of reform. You know they'll never get them. I mean, after all... Oh, not the screen. We are the ones that produce a lot of goods, as we are an economic hegemon. And, one thing is for certain, that once these manufacturers for all that tea that's going to be continued to produce, a lot of them will be made. Well, just for example. I mean, yeah, devastation, because we fought them several times. No, you captured them before, it's just... production later. That's one. South Indian industry, manufacturers, furnace, Mughal China, economic hegemon. Yeah, you get it. Okay, now I figured out the plan for future conquest. Once you deal with Manzaran for the areas that you wanted that's related to the mission. If you get bored, go out west, fight against the Wu Tu, take more tea and silk. Some of these areas are more developed than others. Yeah, you'll be fine. In fact, the real question is, are there any, whatchamacall? God blasted great projects besides that one. That's the Great Wall of China. I'm not of the Chinese culture group, so sorry. May infiltrate administration. Just wait a couple of more months and then we will get it. This one does not require religion. This does. This over there. Culture group's Japanese. For the owner there. Not of that faith, unfortunately. I'll be sure to improve the heck out of this when we take Samarkand. That's for Zoroastrians. Secretive. That's what I am. How old am I anyway? 40. Well, you're now at that part of life now where you are expected to pass away in your 40s. Unless I die in a drilling accident. Which can happen. So we have military powers at 99 now. Infiltrate administration. What is that? In fact, I don't know why I like to do this, but I'll give Florida an example. So we have our spy master again. Floridian revolutionaries. That's not a problem for them. They'll take it out. Can you imagine a revolutionary Florida? Florida would be a republic again, instead of a kingdom that they formed it themselves. Ain't got no heir, but his only marriage is with Colombia. Brazilian culture. Not Portuguese, Brazilian. Yep, the Ottomans have done it. They stopped short of Mecca. Counter-revolutionaries of Bitan. The subversive ideals of the Spanish Revolution has taken hold in Bitan, perverting the natural order of things. However, right-thinking members of the nobility will not accept this state of affairs without a fight. They have rallied their forces and promised to drive out the revolutionaries out of Bitan if we give them support. Well, of course they shall have our support. We should get our new infantry now. British Columbia. British Columbia? You mean English Columbia? There's English Columbia. And this is British Columbia. This is what they call British New Mexico? British Reconquista Government. Well, British Columbia is a brand new colony. I'll be spending this huge amount of ducats for this. To prohibit animal slaughter. Come on, where is it? Oh, god dang it. I thought we were gonna get this in time. Okay, hold on. We got it now. Impulse warfare. Tactics up, land morale up, improve flanking range up. Now we are very much ahead of time. In preparation for the next war, which will occur in next episode. From North Indian sepoys to the Indian Drill Army. Top of its class. So slightly more on the offense, but defense is even. As the 18th century progressed, Indian infantry came to fight more coordinated, with a higher rate of fire and be put to much better use than before. In addition of military innovations such as Mysorean rockets and the integration of Indian light cavalry allowed Indian states to be much more successful against European armies. Striking a good balance at this, Mysore in particular would, under Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, come to propel itself from a local kingdom to a regional South Indian power. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude the episode on that note. In the next episode, as most of these armies should be drilled all the way by now. Well, the exception of the 14th Army down here. 14th Army, it's okay, which one of you boys is 14th Army? This one. You're not the one that's fully drilled yet. But give it a year or a couple of months, we will finally declare that war against them. Because we'll be at our very best. And we will fight against them and the Muscovites. So we will stop here at May. May of 1780. Yes, we're cutting this episode short, but I want the next episode to be all about this western expansion. Well, northern and western expansion. Northwest expansion. There you go. West, northwest. Know your directions. So, we hope you people have been enjoying this episode. As these manufactures will be finished, war will start likely next year on 1781. And then, be fighting against them, as well as Muscovy too. But we're not going to take huge swathes of territory. No. Only the areas that is relevant to the objectives, as you can see highlighted here. Samarkand, Mashhad, and Qom. And then eventually we will get Tabriz over there. We already own Herat for a long time now. But that's just to unite the Afghans. But now we'll go beyond there into Iranian lands. And then we'll face against Karakonulu next. And then one day, and perhaps will be the final big war of the series, a great Ottoman-Mughal war. The Mughal-Ottoman War. I can see that in the future. Like, you bring your very best, and we'll be bringing our very best, with many more manpower reserves if needed. When we just throw all of our bodies over to them. I could see that. Of course, nobody in a right frame of mind would want to team up. And all that. Really? The Knights of Malta, after all this time of existing, you almost made it all the way to the end, man. What's happened to you? I mean, heck, Athens is still alive, which is beyond me. What else is beyond me is the allies that they've chosen. But again, that's far in the future. Even if you were to bring Great Britain along, it would just be even more deadlier. So again, this is probably going to be one of the... What do you mean probably? This is a late game. This is going to be one of the last few episodes of the Mughal series. Still got a few more. I mean, we got this mission to go, the fight against them. And then Karakunulu. And do these peace treaties. If I do get bored, go to Wu. Go on to the other side and take some more tea. And silk. Because we want to be the world's leading producer of tea as well. All that and more in the next episode of the Mughals series. But until then, so long for now.